Imagine a young couple, Jack and Jill, with dreams of owning their first home. They are brimming with aspirations, yet they face the daunting task of saving for a home deposit. The high cost of living, paired with managing everyday expenses, makes it seem almost impossible for them to set aside enough money. They find themselves stuck in a cycle of living paycheck to paycheck, with their homeownership dream appearing more elusive each day. Like Jack and Jill, many of you might be feeling overwhelmed about saving for a home deposit. The first step towards saving for a home deposit fast is understanding how much you can afford to borrow. This is known as your borrowing capacity. It's a vital piece of the puzzle that can help you set realistic goals and avoid financial stress down the line. So, what exactly is borrowing capacity? It's the maximum amount a lender believes you can afford to borrow based on a variety of factors. Think of it as a financial health check, where your income, existing debts, and lifestyle expenses are all scrutinized. Your income is one of the key elements that influence your borrowing capacity. The higher your income, the more you can typically borrow. But it's not just about how much you earn. Lenders also consider how stable your income is. So if you have a steady job with a regular paycheck, you're in a good position. Existing debts can also affect your borrowing capacity. If you have credit card debt, student loans, or car loans, these can reduce the amount you're able to borrow. Lenders want to know that you can comfortably manage all your financial commitments. Lifestyle expenses are another big factor. Things like your monthly rent, grocery bills, and even your morning coffee habit can impact how much a lender is willing to loan you. The lower your lifestyle expenses, the greater your borrowing capacity. Now here's a little tip. Saving a larger deposit can significantly reduce your need for lender's mortgage insurance, or LMI. This is an insurance policy that protects the lender if you default on your loan. The more you can put down as a deposit, the less risk there is to the lender, and the less likely you'll need to pay for LMI. Knowing your borrowing capacity sets a clear savings goal for your home deposit. It's all about understanding your financial position and planning accordingly. With this knowledge in hand, you can set a realistic savings goal and start your journey towards home ownership. While saving for a deposit, don't forget the additional costs involved in buying a house. Now, let's delve into some of the other costs you might encounter on your journey to home ownership. One significant expense is stamp duty. This is a tax levied by the state or territory government where the property is located. It can vary greatly depending on the property value and the location, so it's worth factoring in when budgeting. Next, we have conveyancing fees. These are the costs to legally transfer the ownership of the property from the seller to you. Hiring a professional to navigate this process can be a wise investment, but it's another cost to consider. Then there are property inspection charges. Before purchasing, it's a good idea to have the property inspected for any hidden issues. This could potentially save you from expensive repairs down the line. These are just a few examples of the extra costs you might face. There could be more, like lender's mortgage insurance if your deposit is less than 20% of the property price, or home and contents insurance. It's essential to include these additional costs in your savings plan. They might seem like small amounts on their own, but together they can add up to a significant sum. Being aware of these additional costs helps you prepare a more realistic savings plan. So remember, the path to home ownership isn't just about saving for a deposit. It's also about being prepared for all the other costs along the way. The Australian government is committed to making the home ownership dream a reality for its citizens, and to that end, it has rolled out several initiatives. First up, we have the First Homeowner Grant, often abbreviated as FOG. This is a one-time financial help offered to eligible first-time home buyers to offset the cost of buying a new or substantially renovated home. It's a significant leg up for those looking to step onto the property ladder. Next, there's the First Home Super Saver Scheme, or FHSSS, designed to boost your savings for a first home. Under this scheme, you can make voluntary contributions into your super fund to save for your first home. The beauty of this scheme is that these contributions are taxed at a lower rate, allowing you to save more money faster. And then there is the First Home Guarantee. This program is a real game changer. It allows eligible first-time home buyers to purchase a home with as little as a 5% deposit. And here's the kicker, without having to pay lender's mortgage insurance or LMI. That's a substantial saving right there. So if you're a first-time home buyer, these government programs can be a great boost to your savings plan. They can help you reach your goal faster and make the journey to home ownership a little less daunting. But remember, it's essential to thoroughly research and understand the eligibility criteria and conditions attached to these programs. After all, knowledge is power when it comes to making wise financial decisions. These government programs can be a great boost to your savings plan. Now that you know your target and the resources available, it's time to create a savings plan. A savings plan is more than just putting pennies in a jar. It's a strategic approach to help you reach your home deposit goal. It's your roadmap to home ownership, and here's why it's so vital. You see, a savings plan provides a clear path to follow. It helps you visualize your progress, keeps you motivated, and makes the journey to that dream home a tangible reality. So, how do we go about creating a savings plan? Well, the first step is to set up automatic transfers to a savings account. This is like putting your savings on autopilot. You decide on a certain amount to be transferred from your everyday account to your savings account each pay cycle. This way, you're consistently saving without even thinking about it. It's out of sight, out of mind, and before you know it, your savings have grown significantly. But saving isn't just about stashing cash away, it's also about growing your money. This is where investments come into play. Consider low-risk investments to help your savings flourish. Remember, always do your research and consult with a financial advisor before making any investment decisions. Now let's talk budgeting. Having a budget is like having a financial compass. It guides your spending habits, helps you identify where your money is going, and pinpoints areas where you can cut back. Think about unnecessary expenses that you can eliminate or reduce. Do you really need that daily latte? Or could that money be better spent contributing to your home deposit? Remember, every little bit counts. Whether it's skipping that takeaway meal, foregoing the latest smartphone upgrade, or cutting back on subscriptions, these small changes can add up to big savings over time. In summary, creating a savings plan is about being strategic, disciplined, and mindful of your spending habits. It's about making sacrifices today for a better tomorrow. It's not always easy, but with a well-structured savings plan, you're well on your way to reaching your home deposit goal. A well-structured savings plan is your roadmap to reaching your home deposit goal. Everyone's journey to home ownership is unique, just like Jack and Jill's. They've both had their fair share of ups and downs, and hopefully by sharing their journey, you've gained some insights into the process of saving for a home deposit. We've covered a lot of ground today, haven't we? We started with understanding your borrowing capacity, which is essentially figuring out how much you can afford to borrow. Then we moved on to considering additional costs like stamp duty and conveyancing fees, which can sometimes catch you off guard if you're not prepared. Next, we delved into the world of government assistance programs, such as the First Homeowner Grant and the First Home Super Saver Scheme. These programs can provide a much-needed boost to your savings and help you reach your goal faster. Finally, we discussed the importance of creating a savings plan. We talked about setting up automatic transfers to a savings account, considering investments to grow your savings, and even provided links to calculators and resources for further information. But remember, these are just suggestions and strategies that have worked for others. Your journey might look a bit different, and that's okay. In fact, we'd love to hear about your own experiences and tips for saving for a home deposit. So, what are your tips for saving for a home deposit? Share them in the comments below. Remember, your tip could be the key to someone else's home ownership dream.